And welcome back to the hottest marriage show in the galaxy. It's your man, John D, aka Too Much, and my wife, Do. How are you doing today?
Do is well.
Well?
Yeah.
Like she does everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what my mood is doing right now.
That's awesome. Why's your mood doing so well?
Because it's rainy outside, but we turn this heat back on, which makes me feel better.
There's a window open.
Look, is it?
Dallas's window's open.
Dallas's window is
You see,
open.
this is the type of things that there's a disconnect in this family.
Oh, God. Okay, let's not lay our...
No, I'm just saying,
there.
like, she turns the heat on and the windows are literally open.
Because I was chilly.
I get it, but, like, if we were poor...
Get on my nerves.
No, I'm just saying, it's different, right? Because it was like, let's ensure the windows are closed but now it's like the privilege has been started. I got a question for you.
I'll probably have an answer.
I know. I was wondering what could people master to make the world better in your mind? Like if everybody decided to work on a particular area of life, what could make the world better?
Oh, shoot, I don't have an answer for that. I don't know.
Do you think that the world needs to work on anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what could everybody work on, just a little bit at a time, and then over the course of time, it'll just you can see it working.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't think that is something that everyone needs to work on. I think that, I think some people need to work on being selfless. I think some people need to work on being selfish. Like, I feel like there are some people that run themselves in the ground taking care of everybody else, and they're not maximizing their own lives. And I think that when people are living... if they're living in the best space in their life, like mentally and just what they're putting out into the world, they are contributing a great thing to the world.
What does that look like,
But
though?
I feel like they starve themselves because they're taking care of everybody else. So you can't.
How does that start? That's what I'm saying. Like you say that's what people are doing, but where did that come from?
Well, let me first say that some people are selfish because they're taught to be selfish, and so they need to work on being selfless. But the people who I think are more selfless, I think that they've grown up. There are certain people in your family who have been conditioned to be the caretaker. Have you ever had anybody in your family like that?
I don't know about conditioned to be a caretaker because I want to make sure I understand. So I'm going to do I'm going to practice this communication thing. Yeah. So what does a caretaker look like you? Like, what does it look like so I can see if I have something in my family that looks like that?
Okay. So when I think about people who are conditioned to be caretakers, I think of they watch over the younger siblings, or they're the ones that you're like, they're the ones that help with the groceries. They help with dinner. They watch kids. They help more.
Is it like the older person?
I don't necessarily think so. Like, as an example, I have a friend. I feel like she's been conditioned from the beginning to be a caretaker, and that's why she doesn't maximize her potential. I don't maximize mine either, so let me just be clear that I'm not talking junk about nobody. But I remember growing up, and she had a lot of brothers and sisters, and there was one younger sibling that you would have thought she was this child's mother. She was always rocking her to sleep, taking care of her, doing whatever she needed to do for that person. When her and with all of her siblings. And so now she takes care of everyone in her family as well, to her detriment. Like, her mother fell sick, so she took care of her mother majority of the time. She has an older brother.
Is she accepting that responsibility?
Yes.
So
and this is what I'm saying, but she was conditioned to do that. And when you tell her you have a whole other brother who has a wife, their kids are older and they're established, and you could share these responsibilities so you could breathe. She's like, yeah, I know, but You know what I'm saying? She's learning how to share the responsibility. I think her mom is staying with an aunt right now just to give her a little bit of respite. But when I think about her growing up, I always think about her taking care of somebody. And I always think about, like, she would go without getting her hair done or go without, getting something to wear to go somewhere. She might be the one to be like, I just won't go. Or when I think about how she made sure other people looked stellar or they had what they needed or what they wanted, even to the detriment of her having to work harder so that they wouldn't have to work.
You said she had other siblings, right?
She has one, she has one older brother, and then she has, younger siblings.
So I'm trying to figure out why you said, like, why the rest of them was in condition.
Because she was the one. So she had, her mom took in a lot of foster kids, and some of them she adopted. And so they were, like, younger. Are
you saying, like, maybe she was, like, taking advantage of, like as far as they saw the potential in her and they was like, we're going to condition her? Like,
no, I don't think anybody purposely did it. That's
what I'm saying. How do you avoid it then?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is if you look inside yourself and you feel like, okay, I am taking care of everybody, but what about me? Like, if you take a look at yourself and be like, what about not just your physical appearance, but sometimes your physical appearance is a window into the inside, what you're feeling like as well. But if you look at how tired are you? How fulfilled do you feel? How do you, do you care for yourself? At any point in time, are you a priority? I think there are some people that they always put themselves on the back burner.
Do you think, like, that person is somebody who believes that they're more important than they are? And when I say that, I just thought about how you made me feel, and I feel like this is similar. Like, you was like, John, that school is going to run with you or without you. What are you going to do for you? So in my mind, I thought I was a perfect thing that's keeping things together.
Yeah.
Like, could this person not believe that the things are going to be okay if she steps away?
Yeah, I do. I think that, and I think part of that is for people, not institutions. Like in your case, I was like, nah, please. But
no, but I'm saying it could
for
be
your
the same
family, your family can also be conditioned that I never really have to worry because she's gonna handle it. And so it creates a cycle of those who are dependent and those who are dependent on. So yeah, I guess so my whole point is I always love when I see that she is taking care of herself. And just recently she was like, I need time away. I need time for myself. And she took, I think, 5 days to go to another friend's house of ours just be about herself. And this particular friend she went to, she understands, so she made sure that she had that time to herself and also time to be, because I told you, when I was feeling overwhelmed, and my friends and I went to Mexico one year for our 30th birthday. We went, and I felt like I was Kanika. I was not anybody's wife. I wasn't anybody's mother. I only owed myself. And that trip was amazing. And my friends were like, I have not seen you like this in forever. It's because I didn't realize that I was holding that person back. But at like 4 years later, I think it was 4 years later, I was really, really depressed. And I was very overwhelmed. And I decided to go away for like 4 days, I think. And my mom went with me. But I told her, I said, Mom, I can't take it. I'm overwhelmed and I don't know what to do. And she was like, I'm going to go with you because I don't want you to go anywhere by yourself. But we don't have to do anything. You could read all day long. You could have cocktails on the beach. You could, whatever you want to do, that's what we'll do. She said, we don't even have to talk. We could do, you know what I'm saying? And it was strictly based on what Kanika needed. And I was the priority in those moments. what I realized is I would wait until I was about to break, and then I would make myself a priority rather than giving myself those little bits of selfless moments throughout time, so that I never really felt desperate for an escape.
So when I'm listening to you, I'm trying to figure out, were you conditioned to be that person too? Because I don't understand. Like,
I don't think that when I say people are conditioned, I don't think that there's someone that's sitting there saying, I need to make this person into this.
No, I get that. I'm just saying
yes.
you, because like I'm trying to, how did you get conditioned in? I don't understand.
I think because I used to watch my mom manage everything. My mom was married to my dad. She was divorced, and then I think maybe a year or two later, she married my stepfather. And so my mom has never been, but when my mom was with my dad was strictly financial. Like, he didn't rear us parenting wise. He didn't do any of that stuff. And so my mom did it all, and she never complained, and she just managed. I never saw her take trips to get away. My mom was never somebody who was like, I can't handle it anymore. She just kept going. And then when she was alone for that 1 year, she was still doing everything. Like, my dad was out of the house, and then the money, she was still getting child support, but my dad wasn't, there really wasn't anybody there to help, like not even to mow no grass. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? And so she managed all of that, no complaints, no saying that she couldn't take it anymore. And maybe she was saying to her friends and we just didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? And then when my stepdad came in, it was really like he was very, very, he engaged with us, but my mom was very clear that we were her kids. So she wasn't expecting him to take on added financial responsibility or anything when it came to us. My mom just did that thing regardless. And I think that I watched her, and because I didn't know the conversation she would have with her friends in private, and I didn't know what she was thinking in my head, that's just what you do. You just keep going. You do everything you're supposed to do. You make sure that everything, if it's supposed to look a certain way, and if it doesn't, you better fill in a gap. And because I don't know those moments my mom had with her friends, I just assumed that there were no moments of saying, I'm tired, or I need this, or I need that. And so when my stepdad came, they started taking trips and stuff. So, and it was like regular. So she was getting that escape that way. But growing up, I saw it as you just do. You just do what you're supposed to do so that it looks this way or better. And you don't complain. You don't, you just make it happen. And so that's the type of, I think that, people are passively conditioned because they're watching those before them. And then it's like you're believing that at some point someone's going to pass that mantle on to you, and you're going to have to do the same thing. So you need to learn how to do it like this.
So men, we're not really that bad now that I think about it. After you giving me that, like, because like you said, we're just modeling from what we saw. So right. Unless there's some type of change, man wants to they want to get better, but they literally, like, to convince somebody that you could do better is way, like, just listening to you, like, I'm thinking, like, the multiple ways that I've seen men through my lifetime and where I am, like, the way listening to you, like, you did the same thing that the woman before you did. Like, they won't go through what you went through.
No.
Like, that's what I'm saying. So it's like men are they're doing the same thing as women. It's that women just had way more. You guys were not getting the credit for the responsibility you guys were to keep that household together. And now I'm looking at it like, because I'm just thinking about me, right? When we got married, I said, babe, I want to do 50% of everything. I want all of this. like in my head, I wanted you to tell me to do things because I didn't want you to ever feel like that. And you still weren't able to articulate that for me to receive it, because I can look back. There was nothing I was trying to dodge. I may not have wanted to do it, but I wanted you to always say, like, you know what, John really did everything he could. But if you can't, like, I can look back and see now the things that I missed because you didn't know how to explain that to me.
Well, there are a couple reasons. One is if somebody asks you to do something, they don't want to hear about how you don't want to do it, but you're going to do it anyway. And so it's like, to me, that's like letting me know you're making me do something I don't want. Well, forget it. I'll just do it myself. So if there were things that I'll be like, John, can you do this? If you told me no, or you told me that you didn't really want to do it, then that was a mental note to me to not even bother.
Oh, no, I get it. But I'm saying if you could articulate it, you could have been able to say, hey, John, you said you wanted 50%, but I wouldn't have understood that's what was going on.
So, but and the other thing is if you tell someone and they don't receive it and you spend more time explaining it to them than what you feel like you would have had if you just done it yourself, you just do it yourself.
But then you create this problem.
Yes, but the thing is that sometimes, sometimes you just don't have the bandwidth for the extra. You be like, you know what? If I'm going to have to have this discussion, I'll just do it myself. It's not helpful to the person who takes everything on. I understand that. But I'm saying to you that, the other thing is understanding the complexity. Like, I don't know if we ever talked about this. There was one time where I sent John a message and I said, I want you to write down a list of everything you think is necessary for a household to run. And I'm going to do the same thing, and we're going to compare our lists. And so in comparison, this is not literally the number, but if John wrote down 12 things that he thought were necessary, I wrote down like 96 because I broke down so many other small pieces that go on. And when I'm going through what we have to do for the house or for the family, for the kids, what they need to do or whatever, I'm thinking about all of these different details that need to be taken care of. And when you look at it, you may say, well, we just need 3 things. Like, as an example, we're going on a trip. If we're going on a trip and we're preparing to go, say Day and Dallas are, like when we were back in Abu Dhabi, they were 5 and 7. Mm-hmm. So we're getting ready to go on a trip. How do we get ready?
What do you mean, how do we get ready?
When we're packing.
You pack the clothes.
I pack whose clothes?
The kids' clothes.
And mine.
Uh-huh.
And you pack whose?
Me, mine.
Yes. And so if we're talking, the kids' clothes need to be packed.
But see, this is the thing when I think about that, it's like, I'm going to miss something if you don't tell me, hey, John, this is how I'm packing this. And so in my head, I'm like, you've accepted a responsibility that's your part. Apparently, like I wouldn't expect somebody to say, hey, I'm going to keep putting more things on my plate. So even if you felt like you didn't want to explain it to me, it was almost like I'm the bad guy because I wasn't going to get it. Like, and I'm telling you, as your husband, as a man, even when I was younger, I was like, I was very stubborn. I get it. But it wasn't that I didn't want to help you.
Yeah. And so what I'm saying is that then get in there with me. And not that you would have known then.
That's what I'm saying.
For anybody who's listening now. So say I take on the task of, like now, oh no, I'm going to finish this thought. So when I was packing their clothes, it would have been another thing of, okay, when you're about to pack the kids' clothes, let me know. And so then I'll be like, okay, John, I'm about to pack their clothes. Okay, so what can I help get? Okay, we need to, because after a while I started telling the kids, you need 5 pairs of socks, 5 sets of underwear, 5, and then they would put those things in their bag and then I would fill in the gaps.
But that's what I'm saying. Like in my head, I don't know I should model and see what's going on.
But that's what I'm saying is that
if you don't tell me, how am I going to know?
Yes. But what I'm saying is for those who cannot articulate it, and for me, even in those moments, I used to think, I wish he would help me. But I also understood that when you would put things in there, you'd be like, oh, I'd be like, but they need to have this and this too. And you would minimize it. Oh, they don't need all that. Or, oh, well, I already put this in here. So they don't. And it's like, but they need this just in case of this. So I'm saying, and then you would downplay it. So it's like a battle. So, but in the end, when we would go somewhere, we weren't missing things. If
Oh no, that was the whole point.
I know, but what I'm saying to you is, and anybody else, to assist, when you don't know how to do something and your partner is doing it and they're not really telling you how, when they're doing it, then you sit on in there and you help out. You listen to what they're doing, you watch what they're doing, so you know what to do next time to help. Like now, as an example, now you are fully invested in the idea of doing 50-50. Like, it's not just saying it, you're invested in it. So now when we do groceries, you're looking at what needs to be done. I see that you'll put things in there, like I'll say, do we need paper towel? You used to be like, well, I don't know. Do we need toilet paper? I don't know. But now you be like, yes, we need this and we need this.
But that's what I'm saying. That was because, like, you kind of told me to start doing all of that. So then I had to understand what that. But I get it. But I'm saying that could have been done a long time ago. Like it was like me showing you that I'm serious about improving.
It's different now because you're much more malleable than you were before. Before you said you wanted certain things, but if I told you, but this and this have to happen too, if it's not something you already thought about, you'd be dismissive.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like because I thought that was it.
Yeah, but it also takes part of my mental capacity to hear you tell me no, or how what I'm talking about is not necessary, and then I have to go and do it anyway.
But we were on a bad like road.
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
you were going to burn out.
Yes, I agree. But you also need a partner who is open to taking the load.
The point is, you decided to stay with me, right? Like you wanted to pursue me. And that means if you decided to go get that, you had to, that was your responsibility, was to get me there.
God, like, this is the thing.
That's the way that I'm thinking. Because check this out. Check this out. You know that I said in the beginning, like, stop. So I'm telling you that I didn't want you to go through that.
Yeah, but this is my thing. So we were there and you said, this is 50-50. And I took that at face value. This is 50-50. And so when I started saying, well, John, can you, and then you would say stuff like, if you ask me.
Well, I'm telling you how you can communicate with me, and you don't want to do that.
Listen. So when I first started saying stuff and you be like, if you ask me, then I get the option to say no. If I ask you for something, for help, and then you are okay with fixing your mouth to say, I don't want to do that, then I don't even want to ask you. Then I feel like that was a lie.
See, that's what I'm saying, and it wasn't. But I was trying to tell you a way to communicate with me so I can stop making excuses.
Okay, so then it was like, I need you to change how, even though I know that you're asking me to help you, I need you to give it to me as a directive for me to actually help you. That was crazy.
Because in my head, I'm looking for the shortcut, the way out.
I know.
And that was just with my head.
But that's what I'm saying. And I need you to understand that there are other people in relationships right now where there's someone looking for the shortcut. And so I'm speaking to that person looking for the shortcut and the person that needs help, but they're not, as you're saying, articulating it in a way that they know. I'm saying, if you really want to help me, then get down in the trenches with me and help me pack this bag. And if you don't know how to pack the bag, then you watch me pack this bag. I remember one time Damien said he loved my chicken parmesan. And he said, Aunt Kanika, will you teach me how? And I was like, yeah. So if you want to help, or if you want to learn, then you'll ask to be taught. That's
incorrect, because as most men think that if they're working and they're doing these parts of what men are supposed to do, this stuff that we talk about now aren't the typical male.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That sounds like a more seasoned family if you already know that you're doing that, because I don't know anybody who discuss things like that.
Well, isn't the point of our conversations to kind of help people on the learning curve?
I know, but it seems like you're still mad at me for not knowing that shit then.
I'm mad. No, but I gave you your props about doing groceries now. Like, what I'm saying to you is when I'm thinking about everything that has to be done, I have to think about not just the things on the surface of what I think they need. When we go on a trip, they need clothes and shoes and a toothbrush. No, they do need that. But if something happens, they need an extra set of clothes. If so, what if they get sick? So let's make sure they might get this. So let me make sure there's.
But even with me,
decongestion,
like
all that
I
other
get
stuff.
it. Like I just want you to know how elementary I am. Like I don't even think about taking an extra pair of clothes because I feel
know.
like nothing. So that's what I'm
And
saying.
that's why I started packing your bag. When you would go, the fuck? So then I just start packing everybody's bag. I want y'all to know this. Like, he would go on trips. It wouldn't even be us going. He's going on trips with the cues to go somewhere or whatever. And I remember the first time I packed your bag without you doing anything. You said I had all kind of stuff. I had clothes for different things if we went out, and I had different shoes. Ever. Look, this dude used to travel in a backpack.
I did for so long. And I want you to look, check this out.
No, we're going to have this roller.
I need y'all to check this out. So, like, she really, like, I had a backpack. I mean, a real suitcase, like a like a travel suitcase instead of
he had a roller, a carry-on. Yeah.
So, like, she was doing it right. And I remember when I came back. And like she didn't pack my bag, right?
Nah, I was mad at him.
Yeah, so she didn't pack my bag, and then I packed it, and it was a total different experience. From I'm like she's mad at me because I don't know how to pack my bag.
No, but listen, so we have been apart for 18 months, and so I'm sitting here like, you've been packing your bag for wherever you had to go, so you should know how to pack your bag. And when he came back, this man literally thought I was supposed to pack his bag. I didn't pack anything. So we went, I mean, he came back on the 7th, or maybe not the 7th, but he came back and we almost immediately left town to go to a birthday party. I had him pack his own bag, y'all. He was missing underwear. He was missing, it was so many things. I was like, what were you doing? He was like, you didn't pack my bag. Like,
it's so serious too, because in my head I'm like, she always makes sure I'm straight, and that was not the case. And I was like, it's a shame that I don't know how to effectively pack my. And I will say this, I have a bunch of male friends that know how to pack bags like my wife, and I'm not one of those. And it's like, I remember how long it took me to just get a toiletry bag.
Oh my God. And then he left it, so now he's floating around with no toiletry bag right now. But it's those things, you know what I'm saying?
But I just never got those lessons. So it's like I'm being held accountable for things that I just didn't know as a man. And I'm watching my peer group, and I'm like, why are they spending money on that? It's so much easier to just keep it in your backpack.
And then he can't find nothing in the backpack. And then he finds stuff like months later, like, this was in my backpack. Because it's supposed to be organized in a toiletry bag and a carry. Like, your backpack really should just have like your wallet, your passport, a book if you want to read. Like, it should not have it should everything.
Not. Yes, I will say this. So since I've learned how to travel, the backpack seems so much more easier to carry than everything's not in it.
Exactly.
But I was always like trying to get off the plane and just roll out. I don't want to like go up under. And in my head, I never got to that point. But now I understand. It was like because I was on the go. Mm-hmm. So now I have a lot more time to just relax and like slow down and be like enjoy the leaves changing.
Oh my God. So yeah. So what I'm saying, I guess in the end, this moved from one conversation to another. But mean what you say and say what you mean. So if you say you want to be 50-50, then whatever you don't know, then you start learning from the person who does it. That would have been more helpful for me, because it kind of felt like it was fake when you said, you wanted to be 50-50 and be able to do the same things that I could do. But then when I would tell you to help me in doing it, you would tell me when you wanted to engage and when you didn't, or you didn't really want to learn. And so,
well, like, you know what? I recall asking you, I said, is there anything that I could work on? And you didn't say, no. You're like, John, you're doing a great job, right? So in my head, certain responsibilities that you just accepted, I didn't know I should have learned them, because if you was like, hey, John, when I pack the kids' bags, you probably should get in there with me so you know how to do it, because sometimes I don't want to do it. And I feel like if you knew how to, like, so in my head, if you don't tell me to do that, so when I'm asking you, just tell me what I could work on.
Well, I think that part of that is because I look at what's going on and then I fill in the gaps, and I feel like I expect that from other people, or I expect it from you. See, I'm looking at you not as a man. I'm looking at you as an adult and as a co-parent and a co-part and a partner. And so when I'm looking around at what's going on with the family and what we need, what you need, what the kids need, I'm like, okay, this has to happen. This has to happen. This has to happen. Let me fill in these gaps. And I expect you because I'm not thinking of man and a woman. I'm thinking of you're my partner. You're like my equal. So I'm expecting you to scan and survey the situation too and fill in the gaps and be able to fill in the gaps when I can't. So now, like, I know that when it comes to groceries, I know you will most likely, if you do the grocery list all on your own, we're not going to miss things like we would have before.
Correct.
Apparently from this conversation, packing is something we need to work on. So we'll do that. But it's, I guess I just felt like, why am I telling you? Why am I telling you to come and get in with, like, if I ask you to do a small task that helps me with packing and you don't want to do it, why would I say, you know what, you need to come and work with me on how to pack this or how to do that? It just didn't, to me, it's like if I got to fight or if I have to do extra prodding, then I'm just going to do it myself. And part of that is the responsibility of you to look and say, what other skills should I be learning so that I can do what my partner does in the house? I think that would definitely help know where neither of the partners are burnt out if the other ones know what the other one is doing. Like, especially in even flipping it on me. I used to swear up and down I wasn't good with money, so you could handle everything that had to do with money. But I was the wild card in, is there going to be an overdraft? Because I don't pay attention to money, but you're paying attention to all of it. And so when you would say, dude, there was an overdraft. Like, oh, well, I didn't know. I wasn't paying attention to that. I put my money in.
How much money do you think we paid in overdraft?
Yeah, we probably paid $12,000. Oh, no, I don't know. But I know that we paid a lot of money in overdraft fees.
And it was because of her.
And it was because of me.
And I would give her the warning. Hey.
Yeah, we're getting low. And I was still like, in my head, though, I was operating off, we need these groceries. We need more toilet paper. Like, I would just go on the grace, like I was just stepping out on faith that money was in that account. But what I realized is it was really just me being lazy.
But see, I didn't know to say that, hey, look, this is what's going on. But I felt like we did kind of.
We didn't sit down and you say, okay, this is the money we have. We need to go through this. Because that's the type of learning that I needed. I needed somebody to sit down and say, this is what's leaving and this is what's left. And this is how much you cost me. Or you cost us because you're not paying attention. And so
do you know what all of this is coming from? The lack of communication.
Yeah, I know. So then when we went to Abu Dhabi, everything was in this account, and I couldn't be on the account. So he's on the account and I didn't see anything that was going on, and it made me nervous about money because I wasn't working. So I got an allowance, and that's what I knew about money. And you would tell me, well, go ahead, do groceries. And I felt like the money was unlimited when I would go shop for groceries or whatever the kids needed or whatever. And so when we got back here and you were still in Abu Dhabi, I had to manage everything. And it made me so much more aware of, okay, what is the threshold of what's okay? You always should have this much, set to the side. You never want to be. It made me so much more aware because then now I'm responsible for it and I couldn't just be floating around doing whatever. And so it goes both ways. Yeah. I understand that there were things that I wasn't interested in learning. I just kept on overdrafting. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
And them things was $35 a pop.
36.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a lot.
They wasn't playing. They was definitely immediately popping that 36 on there.
Yeah, I believe we're in a class action lawsuit now. Yeah, so shout out to everybody who's fighting for us. Because I would like some of them ducats back so I can put it on the student loans.
Because some of the stuff was just crazy. Like, You do the overdraft, and then if you overdraft for more than 2 days, then they do another $36 fee. It was just like, it was lunacy. And so I'm not gonna act like you're the only person that needed to learn. And I learned being tossed into the water on my own that I had to do it a certain way.
Yeah.
And it keeps me aware of money now all the time. But with you, like I keep saying the groceries, but the groceries used to bother me because John used to get mad because some weeks the groceries would be like $150, and other weeks it'd be like $250, $300. But I was like, you have to understand that I don't always buy paper towel. I don't always buy laundry detergent. I don't always buy toilet paper. And so that hikes up amounts on the grocery bill. But because he didn't know that, he used to yell at me about money. Like, what are you even, like, groceries shouldn't be this much. Yes, but when we have those big items that we have to do once a month or something, it's gonna be higher on that month, on that week.
that all of that was just stemmed from me not knowing how to deal with money.
Yes.
Like,
money.
Yeah, okay. Money, period. Because at the end of the day, you weren't out like taking people out on the town and like, you know, spending money frivolously. You know, you were just doing, you know, whatever to benefit the house. And it was just like, I didn't get it.
Yeah. But, you know, that's just, but if you had been doing, you know, if we had been going over, like now, John starts the grocery list and then I'll go on and look and fill in what I need, and the kids they'll do, you know, they'll tell us what they need or whatever. Before, I was just going to the store and getting stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's like you can see where that money is going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like when you see that toilet paper costs $12, you be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this costs whatever. It's different.
Yeah, I guess so. Like when you, I guess, participate in those activities, you can have a better understanding of why things are looking the way they do.
And so I would have thought that when I packed your bag and you came back and you were just raving about how great it was, that you would be like, oh, I need this. And you was like, nah, I still haven't learned.
No.
and you had no underwear.
No, I had underwear. I didn't have socks.
Was that what it was? You were missing socks. So it's like,
but regardless, I mean,
you got to get in there.
Yeah, but you know, that's what I'm saying. That was a learning lesson because, you know, as a man, I'm telling you, there's a lot of men out there that think they figured it out. Like they're just done. They just like, you know what? She's been doing it all these years. Why would I take that job from her?
Yeah, but please take the job from her, and don't just take it and then shit the bed with it. Like
be cold. Like just be a better husband, a better father. Like I promise, if you're cold at being a better husband, your wife will let you know it.
Yeah, and vice versa. I think that we should learn each other, because no one should have a role or respect. It's nice for somebody to have responsibility, so you know that it's always handled by that person.
But everybody should know everybody's.
Yeah, everybody should know everybody's position and how to do it.
Correct.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. I don't think that was how this started, but I appreciate it because, yeah.
No, it didn't start. You said it started off. It still ended up where I wanted it to go anyway. Because I said, what do we need? What could everybody work on? And he was like, it's nothing. People need to be selfless or selfish. And I said, no. I was like, if everybody worked on communication just a little bit every day, we could lose some of the misunderstandings. Just so how you said, as parents, everybody should know everybody's job just in case.
Yeah.
And then the better you know it's just like you're the LeBron James of the offense, but you got two LeBron James on the team now. You know, you don't have like two specialized players.
Yeah.
You got two LeBrons is way better than having a cold point guard and a shooting guard. You got two LeBrons. You can do everything. So I hope that's the lesson that we could give out.
Two LeBrons. Knowing other people's role.
Yeah, everybody's role. You're like, okay, something's wrong. What's going on? Like, it shouldn't be like one person forgot. The other person should have been already there. Like, if it's 5 or 10 minutes off, like, hey, did you check this out? I didn't hear you from just reminding.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take more of a role in trying to know your schedule better than you do.
Why my schedule? What?
Because I feel like you just walk aimlessly through the world without acting like anything.
That is completely unrelated to today. You could say, I'm going to know more about your roles. You don't have to know my schedule.
Well, your schedule as far as what's on it. That's why I say, what are you doing tomorrow? Or what's on your schedule this week? So if I hear it, I know what you're doing. So when I come to a Wednesday, this is where you are. It's like I won't plan anything around that part. So it's me trying to make sure that I can get the most out of you.
Okay.
Because if you say there's nothing going on and then I have something awesome and you're like, oh, I forgot this was on. I'm like, oh, you didn't foil me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
foiled your plan.
Yeah, like I'm trying to show you a good time. Now I'm mad because you lied to me.
Golly.
Do you see what I'm saying
extreme.
though? No, but I'm saying like that the communication aspect. So yeah, but we won't take any more of y'all time. Anybody you want to give a shout out today?
Give a shout out to my mom who taught me how to take on all the roles. But she ain't taught me how to hand none off yet. So then
because she didn't know how to do it. So now you got a husband that's trying to release some of these roles from you so that we could be both live in this on this team.
You know, I appreciate that I learned how to be self-sufficient and I could manage everything. I've definitely learned that, and I've learned that from her. But I also like the idea that you don't have to be. It's great. It's just like the message today. It's great to know how to handle all the roles, but you don't necessarily have to do all the roles. So shout out to the mama, because she taught me how to handle everything.
And shout out to the fathers who are not allowing the mothers to do those roles anymore. God.
I thought you were going to say fathers who ain't doing the roles. No, yes, those who are taking on those.
Yeah, like, definitely. So if you already got that heads up, you are so much further in the game than a lot of us, and we are working to get there, because I don't hear people competing to be the best father out here, and that's what I'm doing. I want to be the best father out here.
Okay.
Best husband too.
Yeah.
But I want to give a shout out to my comrade, the owner and CEO of Mal the brand.
Oh.
We went to the graduation yesterday.
Like a walking billboard.
Like a commercial. We just, the cameras just weren't out. But shout out to him. He's doing big things. If you get an opportunity, go check him out. Mal the brand. He's selling athletic apparel and wonderful T-shirts. Make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you cannot control. GATA. Get after that action, or that action will get after you. Boom. Be great on purpose.